What's up guys, Xraypc here, and I wanted to make a video based just purely on hyper moves. I know this is a big one that people wanted to know. So hyper moves is like Keshins, Amorfiy, anything from Go Plus. Keshin, Amorfiy Keshins, Mixie Match, Totems, Bond Transform, Awakening, and mode changes. So Bond Transform and Awakening, and I think mode changes as well, are completely new to Inazuma Eleven Victory Road. I know for sure what Bond Transform and Awakening are. Bond Transform is where you can literally turn into a whole nother character, and like all of a sudden you're like, let's say one character like you use God Hand X, and you're a fire. Let's say you were Coco, and then you could Bond Transform into Endo. So let's say let's just say it's easier. You're a fire goalkeeper, and then you could Bond Transform into a Earth goalkeeper, and just cover both weaknesses, right? Whatever the heck is going on. Keshin, so let's do this one. We'll go hyper gauge. You have a hyper gauge powers hyper moves. It fills gradually as you use special moves with dribble and defense moves, filling it faster. And that's cool that it doesn't just use it and you can never get it back like in old games. That could be a good and a bad thing, I guess, to some people, because some people just hated it. They're like, hey, at least once you used it, you can never use it again. Yeah, so Keshin is a physical manifestation of a player's spiritual energy. Activating a Keshin buffs the whole team, not just the user. Wow, it buffs the whole team now. It also lets a player perform powerful special moves called Keshin moves. Okay, so also in this game, there's only 4 slots now. You can't just have a Keshin on every single character, and a Amorfiy on every single character, and a Mixie Max on a ton of characters. Like, you literally can only have all these on one character, or on 4 different characters. So one character can have a Keshin, but also then can have a Amorfiy of his Keshin. So Keshin is just you whip out the giant stand, but Amorfiy is you put like you wear the stand. Lets the player transform by merging with their Keshin. This boosts the user and greatly powers up their special moves. So I guess Keshin buffs your whole team. Amorfiy super is a bigger buff, but only for yourself. Mixie Match transformation that fuses the user with bonded teammates whose emotions and willpower align with theirs. It grants strong buffs and enhances their special moves. So there's sometimes you could bond with another player, or well, I guess in this sense it is another player, but let's say in the show they went across the different, this is Chronostone, and they had to go through the different like timelines of one, like Faerun could bond with like this was right at the start of the thing. He bonds with the T-Rex, right? You're like, oh my gosh, he could like bond with the T-Rex. You think that's OP, but then it's like you get the bond with like Joan of Arc. You get to bond with Chow Chow and things like that. You know what I mean? Like historical figures or fantasy, like King Arthur, right? So you get to do that, or you could just mix a match with another character who's really broken. So like, let's say I mix my Fubuki with my Faerun, something like that. You could do things like that. At least I hope they kept it like that, unless they made mixing match only the special ones. But I'm pretty sure they made it so you could just bond one character with another character. Bond Transform, borrow the power of a bonded teammate and take on their appearance and abilities. While transformed, all of your stats are replaced with those of the player connected to you via the Bond Transform line. I wonder if that's like, let's say they're on your bench. That would be balanced where like, yes, it's broken, but it has to be somebody on your bench. That's what I'm assuming. It says bond the power of your bonded teammate. So I'm pretty sure it has to be somebody on your bench maximum. Like I don't think it will like, let's say like you have one forward and you have a win forward, but they have a goalkeeper that destroys your win forward, but you have another one that destroys that one that destroys your win forward, and then you just bond transform into that person. I guess you could do that. I feel like it's really good on like goalkeepers, but also it's really good on defenders as well. I don't know how good it is on like people who are like forwards and stuff. I feel like Awakening is probably better on forwards. Right here, Alicia Powers is the Super Saiyan. Literally, they made a reference to being Super Saiyan. They're like, oh, you're going Super Saiyan. Alicia players' hidden potential to power them up. The user receives a buff along with special effects based on the specific type of Awakening activated. And then mode change. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's so cool. So you can literally go Fubuki, and then Fubuki activates his brother's form. So you literally can go Fubuki, and then Fubuki offensive and Fubuki defensive. Undergo certain sudden internal shifts that dramatically alter their personality and playstyle. These changes may include becoming more aggressive or adopting a new demeanor. Their abilities are adjusted to match a new. Oh, wait, that's so cool. Right here, okay, so you can only have 4. So you have like Maestro, Amorfiy, Lancelot, Amorfiy, and aspect mode, aspect A mode. So that's mode change. So you have Fubuki, and if Fubuki is like, let's say you made a Fubuki your midfielder or defender, and then you could mode change him, and he becomes a hyper offensive demon. So like that's just like, oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. So I don't even remember. I know some games had this, but I don't think you could do it mid-game. Before it was just a permanent thing. Like you just had Fubuki in his like brother mode, right? And then you had default Fubuki. But yeah, so now you have mode change, awakening, and bond transform on top of mixy match, armored Keshin, and Keshin. And now Keshin's a buff your whole team instead of just yourself. And then armored Keshin is a buff only for yourself, but it's insanely strong. Mixy match is like you take the stats of your like a totally another player. Like maybe you have a player super crazy and you just take his stats. And usually when it was mixy matching another player, that player can't be used anymore until you end the mixy match. You have to literally like take like the mix and match off of them, and then you wouldn't get that character anymore. But let's say like we'll go to this just to show you. They have it in the shop, so you could some of them you're gonna have to earn them, but from Chronicle mode. But I think there's some at least for now that we could buy from the shop, unless they want to update this over time. So you have Burning Overdrive, but this is a hyper energy. The Striker's passion for a victory ignites, awakening true power. So I think these are like awakening modes, like going Super Saiyan. Keeper's Grit. The Keeper digs deep and comes through when it counts. Ironclad Guardian, the player becomes an unbreakable wall of defense. So this is probably defender, this is probably a striker, this is goalkeeper. The player taps into potential, unlocking even greater elemental power. So this probably just makes their whatever element they are more potent. So let's say they're fire, you become double fire maybe. Instant burst. With sharpened focus, the player surges across the pitch at top speed. So maybe this like heightens her speed. It's a whole new mechanic. So I mean, like I would have to waste time grinding these really high like ranked characters and then trade them in to get it. But yeah, you have Arc Pegasus. So this is Tenma's Keshin. I wonder if it unlocks her Amorfiy as well. When a player of the same element is nearby, your own attack and defense increases by 20%. Wow. On the opposition's half of the pitch, team's attack and defense increases by 10%. That's just passive. I wonder if it's just always on. You have Arthur, so this is Hakiryu's. You have Tenma's. He has two of them actually. Yeah, he has two of them. And then you have Kinako's, and then you have Endo's, and then I don't remember. I think Endo got it in the movie. I think they went back in time and gave him. He got it in the movie. Oh, he had to get his brother, and then you have to get the Garyu Shisendo. So this is another reason you want to be story mode, because then you can start getting Garyu Shisendo's spirits, because you can start using the story mode characters in Chronicle mode. So that's another reason to beat story mode right there. I have a tip video where I'm telling you that. Bond Transform, this is where the one that you just get this, and then you could put Bond Transform. You probably have to keep farming this. If you want to put Bond Transform on one person, you probably have one Bond Transform. So that means you have to get another one if you want to put another one on someone else. Especially if you have multiple team docs. I don't think if you have Bond Transform on one person, I don't think you could transfer a bunch of them to another person. I hope this shop updates or adds more over time, or there's another way to actually just purely farm it. But this is just a way to like instantly get what you want specifically. So like, let's say like the Earth and like Prime Legend, Big Bang, Supernova, Shell Burst, Disaster Strike, like super broken shots, and Field of Force is a really good dribble move. Temporal Wall, Feeding the Hand, God Catch, and all that. So it's like you just get all the broken stuff there. Also, you come to the Bond shop if you want to figure out how to get these. You could, let's say if you have this one, you need these token things. But yeah, I can't remember how to get that, but it's probably just from Chronicle mode, and you just get something, and maybe you can farm it from, I don't know, Kismet Station. I don't know. But yeah, that's just want to make this video to explain the modes and like their awakenings. I'll just show you again. It is, if you want to find it, you go to the just scroll to the bottom first, and then go your way up. It's probably faster that way. It's near the bottom, and then you go here. There you go. So you go hyper moves, hyper gauge, Keshins, armored Keshins, mixy match, bond transform, awakening, and mode change. These are all the ones. And then there's another tab for hyper move command. So you only have up to 4, and then yeah, to make it balanced. Because before it was literally every single player on the field, including your bench. That you could just swap in your bench, and then they have their own. So It was just too broken on the old games. That's why people hated it. So now it's balanced. You only have 4, and that's it. But yes, now you can also have a meter that you can constantly get back. So yes, you can only have 4, and then once it runs out, you have to get the meter back, and then you can prop it again. Who knows how many times you could proc this in one match. Let's say if you're doing really good, or if it's like really back and forth, you could probably get this multiple times in one match. I don't know how many times, but yeah. Until I get them, I won't be able to really tell y'all. But yeah, that's just want to make this on hyper moves and make this quick video. Hope you guys have a great day. Peace out. Check my tip video later.